Well, hello everyone and welcome to the channel. This is our second episode of the series and we will cover the patchwork as well as the replacement of the front window. For those of you that are new in here, feel free to click on the card that appears on the top right corner of your screen. It is a link to the playlist that contains all the videos uploaded until now. Without further ado, here are the details. As I was explaining in the previous video, the front window of the topper, the one that sits directly behind the cab of the truck, was letting a lot of water coming through. The seal or gasket, however you want to call it, was dry rotted and it needed replacement. This window was originally a solid piece of glass. It didn't provide any access like a slider window or something like that to the truck. So I decided to replace the glass for a solid piece of plywood, as I might end up using the plywood as a bucket board to hang or attach devices or electronics and the project progress. I tried to go and measure the best I can and try to replicate all the curves that the window had. Eventually, I got the shape and size that I wanted. I drilled a total of 8 holes to attach the plywood and used carriage bolts and construction adhesive to ensure a good seal in an effort to make it waterproof. After the plywood was attached, glued and screwed, I went ahead and applied a bit of good quality paintable exterior caulking to the way around the perimeter of the plywood. Once again, trying to do what I can to ensure a proper water seal. After all, the main reason why I changed the glass was the water intrusion, and I was not going to have it anymore. Switching gears a little bit, I let it proceed with the patching of all holes and deep scratches that the sanding process couldn't get rid of. I'm pretty sure that those of you that are familiar with fiberglass work out there can suggest a better alternative to my glazier's putty. But due to the low price of it, the simplicity of use, the amount of patch required, this product was a clear winner. I believe I did about 3 or 4 passes. the putty shrunk in between coats, so in order for me to build it up I needed to do 3-4 passes, and I was sanding and cleaning in between just to ensure a proper adhesion of the putty. One thing that I haven't disclosed yet is the investment we have in this project. I will be adding the materials to the description as we go, as well as a running tab. Hopefully my wife won't find out. In episode 1, I mentioned that the topper cost me $50, and what we have accomplished in that episode was the sanding and the cleaning. I had the Orbital sander, which anyways is about a $30 tool, and the required sandpaper, but I think $10 will get you a couple of packages of 2 different Grit Sandpaper, and that's more than enough. The cleaning tools and supplies that I used, I had on my house as well for my regular car cleaning. But even if you need to go and buy some detergent, you can go ahead and use dish soap. It's important to get it clean, not to get it shiny, and you don't want to use any wax soap. So dish soap is perfect for this. So for episode 1, the cost will be 0 if you don't consider the initial purchase of the topper. For this episode, I bought the Glazind putty, which is about $5, the adhesive and the caulking, less than $4 a piece, and the spray can of the truck bed paint was about $10. The other one, I think it was 99 cents or somewhere there. The bolts I used, the nuts and the washers amounted for about $2 a piece. So when you add all up together, I think it's less than $50. I only end up using the can on the area where the third stoplight mounts, with the hope that it will be easier to seal cables, holes, and the screws, and try to keep the water out. And yeah, I know, it seems I'm very concerned with water intrusion, but as the project goes along, you will understand why. I used the remaining of the can on the plywood, along with some regular black spray paint I had laying around as a primer. The other coating was a little bit more expensive, so I'd rather use the cheaper ones to let the plywood soak in some of the material. At this point, I already had purchased the paint that I was going to use on the topper, as well as a spray can of the similar product. I was hoping for both textures to be similar, but the difference was very noticeable. The can created a very fine texture, which I really liked, but this one wasn't coarse enough to cover some of the details left behind of the prep work. At this point, it's almost time for the next video. In the top left corner, you'll be able to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. You can check the latest video by hitting on the link on the top right on the screen. If you like the video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button, or the other one if you didn't. Feel free to comment, and please subscribe and click the bell icon to enable notifications. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next video.